Hi, folks. How goes it? Happy Saturday. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my stream. It's been quite a long time since I've been able to do an actual regularly scheduled stream on days other than my Final Fantasy 14 raid night. So it's nice to be back. I'm hoping to get back to a regular schedule. I tried this week. Monday, Tuesday, Final Fantasy 16 didn't work out because I ended up being busy both Monday and Tuesday night. But outside of that, the rest of the week was relatively normal. I missed Thursday. I basically missed Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday because of meetings that were unexpected. So my return was scheduled and it would have happened if not for just like random other things I was anticipating. But outside of those, my schedule is normal again. For a very long time, I was not able to stream regularly outside of the raid nights because of a project I was involved in that just took so much effort and time. And I felt a little guilty streaming while I still had like stuff to do with that, but that finally finished last week. Hopefully you'll see the results of that the next couple weeks. But now that's out of the way, like I have time to stream again. So I wanted to get back into it. Time is going to be a little fluid on that end because Super Zeldathon is coming up in about a month. So I'll be very, very busy then. But outside of that and like the week leading up to it, I got time again, so I can stream again. So it's gonna be nice. So on that note, I'm back today with what should be the finale of Skies of Arcadia Legends. Obviously, it's been about a month and a half since I even last played this game. But I remember exactly where I'm at, and I can recap as necessary. I'm looking forward to getting into it, but it also does mean that I have to immediately figure out next week what I'm gonna start playing on Saturdays. With this game out of the way, I have to figure something else in the slot. That is a problem for next week, me though. For now, I'm going to get right into things because we have things to do. I need to actually, of course, it idled out while I was sitting here talking. There's a number of in-game things that I was going to do, but it occurred to me after the last time I played this game about a month ago that I might not be able to do most of them. Several of them, the big thing I wanted to do was to get the final ultimate title there. You can see right now I'm called Vice the Bounty King because I defeated every single bounty, turned them all in, including the Lord Zillianbane one that was in the final dungeon. We did that one last stream, then I left the dungeon to turn it in. So that got me this title. There is the super in-game title for the GameCube version is Vice the Legend, but there's a number of requirements to get it, and I think I might have missed one of those requirements. At least one of the requirements is to open every single treasure chest in the game. And actually, I don't know that I missed it. I think I did open every chest that was in an area that I can't get to anymore. But I also think there was at least one chest that I missed that is accessible now, but I have no idea what dungeon I would have skipped it, and so where to go back to find it. I probably skipped it because the items in it, I already had like maxed those items and couldn't pick it up, and I was just like, I'll do something about this later, and never went back. And now I have at least one treasure chest that's not open, which means I can't get that title. I'm not going to go back through the entire game to find like the one treasure chest I need to open, so we'll skip the title. My party is mostly very good as far as like in-game stats are concerned, so I don't really feel like I need to grind. So on that end, the only actual remaining thing that I want to do before fighting the final boss is get Fina's ultimate weapon. Right now she's still on Cupel wait because it turns out I missed one Cham somewhere in the game. There's 30 of them, and I've only had Cupel E29. So I need to go back through all 30 of those locations and find the one I'm missing and feed it to Cupel so he can evolve to his final form. And then we can just go fight the final boss. So that's the plan for today. It's going to be a lot of backtracking, unfortunately, but it's going to be way less backtracking than me trying to find like the one treasure chest in the game that I'm missing. So I feel like that's an okay backtracking for a chill. If we have to do a chill backtracking scene, that's better off. I do have battles turned off for now though, because I don't really want to deal with that. I think I'm going to start by going up to my home base in Crescent Isle. I feel like of all the champs on the list that I'm reading, that's probably one of those two is probably the most likely that I missed. But also it's entirely likely that I'll have to literally hit all 30. So we'll just start making our way. And hopefully I get lucky. Let's see. All right, we are going the right way. Outside of that, I definitely have everything. I got the best weapons for everybody through various side quests. We did finish the Maria and Piastel stuff, so that got the best weapons for several of our people. The other possible best weapon for Vice we got here from Ryukon. One of the chams was back here. They probably mean this building. Let me pop in and verify. Is there a cannon in here? Yes, okay. I definitely have that cham. And then the other cham that was on Crest Isle was out at the flag. Flagpole in the upper part of the village? Okay, it just means above ground, I think. I was hoping one of the chams it would just be obvious which one was missing, but all of them look familiar. Well, obviously I got 29 of them, so most of them should look familiar. But it's unfortunately just not completely obvious which one I missed, so I probably will end up having to check all 30 locations, which is annoying. I got that one though, so that's 2 down. One of them was... Oh, several of these we got as rewards, so at least I don't have to worry about checking those. I remember getting the last 3 on stream. The 2 in Soltis, the 1 in Hamacho Island, so I can skip those for now. I guess I'll work backwards. Let's go to Elikmus' Island, and then we'll go into the Glacia dungeon, which is the main reason that I'm turning battles off, because a lot of these were inside dungeons, so we're gonna have to backtrack a good bit in those, which was gonna be annoying already. It would be a lot more annoying if I had to fight enemies as I went, so let's not do that. We up there, okay. That island is above the clouds. Let's go ahead and hang out up here as I go. I feel like I remember getting this one, but we'll see. Lean a little left. Wow, it is very dark up here, jeez. We are getting close to Glacia again, I guess. No, that was a discovery. This is the actual island. Down the stairs near one of the machines. I feel like I remember getting this one too, but Cupid would definitely have been yelling at me by now if I missed it, so yeah. The entrance of the Ruins of Ice. Okay, let me double check this. What's the best way into those? Honestly, it feels like I should just go into that dungeon from the start. I work my way all the way through. Alright, well, we're pretty close to there. Let's just head northwest and not get caught on the tip of his building. It's easier to get to this dungeon from this side, I think. Probably down here-ish. Wait, this is the back entrance to it, isn't it? Is it the back entrance or... Well, I guess we'll go this way first. Yeah, this is the back entrance. Chest there. Let's go the other way. I just don't remember where the main entrance is, because this is the only ever one that you anytime you need to go back in the dungeon, you'd like go this way to get the chest or whatever. It's probably above ground. That's the safe assumption. I think it's kind of difficult to find this because it's just like a very unobtrusive entrance for the above ground part, I think. Aha. Hopefully we can get back here. I assume we have to have a way. Yeah. Okay, we can always go back that way as long as we can get back here in general. Wait, hold on. Search the entrance of the ruins of ice? Did I miss one in like that first room? No, I can't have. Because Cupel wasn't yelling at me. They are talking about this room. It was like right here. Okay, I definitely got this one. Oh, stupid camera. Okay, the other one would be at the final save point in the dungeon, which good luck remembering exactly where I need to go for that. And just start winding my way around and hope for the best. Or let's hope for the best and hope that I can remember how to backtrack. Also, how many save points are in the dungeon for there to be a final one for me to need to worry about? I think there was just a chest that way originally. This also just led to a chest, I think. This did not. Wait. Maybe there was a chest up there. There was a path down here. Okay, which is also just a chest. Maybe. Nope, went somewhere completely different. Chest there. That's that path. Maybe this is the final save point they were talking about. Let me see where the guide is directing me from there. Go south past an intersection. Okay, this was definitely the final save point because that was the elevator slash boss that took us into the final room. Okay, so south from here, past an intersection, look at the end of the path. So it's right here, and there was nothing. Okay, we got this one then. I wonder if I can go this way to get out, or if they'll probably make me backtrack. Let me just... I think I vaguely remember which way to go, so let me just backtrack. Okay, so we definitely got the 2 chams in here. I feel like I definitely got that one at Gordo's Bistro, but let's go back there and check. That is a bit of a trip from here. But that is exactly why I had battles turned off. One of several reasons, so it's fine. Back through here, yeah. And then we're going down and right. I think this is correct, yeah. It's mostly a straight shot from here, I think. Yeah, just taking this elevator up and out. Okay, actually, traveling through these dungeons is not horrible with battles off. They're not super long, and I had forgotten that. Well, I claim there's 2 chams that were in Moonstone Mountain, and that's a horrible dungeon. No matter whether you have battles turned on or off, so. Oh, let me check this. There is a cham that was on the deck of the Delphinus. Maybe I just missed that one. It would make sense that I got all the ones in all the dungeons and never thought to, like, go upstairs here. I don't think this is the right way, though. Yeah, that leads up to the crow's nest. We have to go down these steps, and then it's one of these 2 doors, and I never remember which. One door leads to the kitchen, or the galley, I guess. Which is probably that one. And then I think this one leads outside. Yep, okay. If you want to change out your party, all 3 of them are here. Not that I want to do that. Oh, Ryukon is also here. I guess they're all there in case you need to, like, make purchases. No, they're not. They're just there because they're in your crew right now. They're not there because shops are here. I guess you have to go back to Crescent Isle for that, which, okay, that makes sense. But also Cupel isn't yelling at me, so it looks like this is not one of the ones I'm missing, unfortunately. Let me double check though. Ah, yeah. The cham was like up here. Okay. Unfortunate. I was hoping, but not lucky enough for that. So that does mean I should just go ahead out to Gordo's Bistro next. Where is Gordo's Bistro, actually? That's in Valua somewhere? North Valua? Gonna want to go south for that. Aha. Directly south. I feel like I've gotten this one too, but we'll see. Down in this direction. ish. Somewhere. Ah. Often you can see things from a lot farther away, but I guess not here where it's this dark. Especially the barrels. I am quite positive I got this one already. It was like over here-ish, yeah. But let me do a full circuit of the restaurant. Nothing is pinging at me, so yeah. All right, continue to backtrack. We did the 2 Crescent Isle ones. We can go to Tinko Island. I'm over there. I guess we can go. Let's do all the east ones. So Yafutoma, Tinko Island, and Mount Kazai. I'll start with Tinko Island. All the way up here. Okay. Oops, forgot to mute my phone. I don't even know if that was audible on stream, but if it was, now it's not anymore. Follow the path to go to the next circular area. Okay. This one also sounds familiar, but we'll see. Bear a lot more west here. Oh, we need to stay up because Tinko Island is above the clouds. And directly west. There we go. I'm pretty sure I've gotten this one too, but I definitely think I'm going to double check every champ location except Moonstone Mountain. Like those should be the last 2 I do. Let's see. Follow the path until you pass under a roof, then go to the next circular area. Okay, here's the roof in question. And then up here. Cupid's not yelling at me, so I've almost certainly got this one. Let me double check what the guide is saying. Yeah. All right. Let's head to Yafutoma and then we'll go to Mount Kazai. I wonder if I should just like skip all of the dungeon related ones initially, at least. That's not a bad idea. It'll result in some more, even more backtracking. But maybe for now I just don't do Mount Kazai. Let me go back to all previous channel locations that were not in dungeons, because they're going to be quicker to check. And if one of those is the one I'm missing, then I don't have to worry about taking forever to get in and out of a dungeon to find one single spot. So that seems like the... I didn't even realize you could hit R to get to that menu. Today I learned. That seems like the smarter idea as far as just backtracking, so yeah. So we'll skip Mount Kazai for now. And we'll just go straight to Yafutoma over here. Right side of the city, near the ferry dock, next to a waterfall. That's inside the city, not out here. Oh, passing people by with fishing rods here just pisses me off because it reminds me of the fact that I'm trying to put together habitats on the Cloud Island of Pocopia that require fishing rods, which you cannot easily get in that game, so I have to waste Pokemetal to 3D print a bunch. And this is completely irrelevant to everything going on in Skies of Arcadia. My apologies, but it was just seeing the fishing rod just pissed me off for a second. I think the tram they're talking about was like over here somewhere, and Cupel is obviously not yelling at me, so got this one. This is still a tedious amount of backtracking through old areas, but it's quite a bit less tedious than actually like wandering through a dungeon, so I'll give it that. Alright, well, if I'm not going to do Mount Kazai, where should I go next? Esperanza. And then the ruins of Nazareth. Okay. Let's see, Esperanza's all the way over here. I feel like we should go to the ruins of Nazareth first, because that's directly west, then we can go south to Esperanza from there. The fountain in the center of town. I would be very surprised if I missed that one, but we'll see. That seems to be the quote for the day. That I would not expect to have missed so-and-so, but we'll have to find out. Obviously, one of them I'm missing, so at some point, I am going to run into one that I was like, I can't believe I missed this. And it'll be annoying, but at least we'll have it at that point. But this one, I would have run around this fountain a bunch while I was out here. So I feel like this one would have been impossible to miss, but it's possible, I guess. If it's in a specific spot in the fountain, I just happen to never run by that spot. Just do a full circle. Hey, Relong, how's it going? That news was great, but it couldn't have come at worse timing. I have like $1,000 hotel payment I need to make next month, so that is completely out of the cards for me. So I'm like not paying any attention whatsoever, other than the excitement of the initial announcement. I'm just like, oh, great, but if that had happened like later in the year, it would have been much less of an issue. Also, apologies, break just started, so anybody who doesn't have Twitch Turbo or a sub, we'll see you in about 3 minutes. That's fair, but also that's still like money I can't spend, so. All right, we'll go south to Esperanza now. At least not now. Maybe in a couple months, by which point it will already be out. Southwest-ish? Okay. Go down the ladder near the entrance to the main town. Wait, where's that one? Okay. That one's a possible one to have missed because it's underground, but I feel like I definitely went down all the ladders and up all the ladders in Esperanza, so we'll see. Just past this mountain. Gotta make sure not to get caught on the mountain when I'm going down. Oh, I like that you can see the vendor's rug from the world map. All right, let's see. We need to go into the town first before we find the ladder we can go down. Awful fully clover shaped. Oh, okay. So even though they're that expensive, it's still like just those. That's not even worth bothering with to some extent, I think, then. Okay, definitely this ladder. Down here and search. There's no way I missed this one. because I distinctly remember coming down here and looking around this area. But also, if I'm looking at this correctly, it was in this, it was like literally right here, right next to the ladder. So people would have been yelling at me a while ago if I hadn't gotten it already. All right, where's the next one to go check then? Not in Esperanza, so let me leave first of all. The top of the Sailor's Island Lighthouse? I know I went up there for a quest. I would be... The fact that I went up there for... It was the quest to get one of my crew members. So I would be very stunned once again if I miss this one, but let's go check. From there, there's 2 on Ducat's Island, which I feel like I've already gotten, but that's a dungeon, so let me wait on that. The Nazar and the Gordo ones were given to me as part of doing a quest. That wasn't a pickup that I had to physically find, so we'll skip that. Rixus I'll check later. Moonstone Mountain I'll check later. King's Hideout, I can go do that one. All right, so we'll start with Sailor's Island, and then we'll fly over here to King's Hideout. There we go. Northwest. Alright, figured it would be difficult to miss this as soon as we got in sight. I feel like the King's Hideout one has a solid chance of being the one I miss. Anyway, let's check this one. This one's all the way at the top. And I do remember getting this one, so no surprise it's not there. All right, let's head to King's Hideout. Where's Hamacho Island again? I feel like I might want to check that on as I'm on my way. I know we checked that literally last stream, but wouldn't hurt to go take another look. I think that's directly above the Dark Rift, so it's probably going to be southeast, which means it's nowhere near the King's Hideout. So we'll have to take a look at that one later. Yeah, okay. So we'll do that one later. All right, we'll go here next. And then while we're there, there's one in Hortec I can check. And then we can go back to Maramba. The Shrine Island one I will check near the end. Double check to make sure I didn't miss that one or the 2 Solstice ones. Then there's one in Pirate's Isle to check. So I guess we'll start with the King's Hideout, then go to Horteca. And then we'll go to Pirate Isle. And then we'll come back to Maramba. And then we can go south to Hamacho Island. And then we have to start going into all the dungeons. At that point, unfortunately. But we'll start with King's Hideout. It is a little difficult to play this game, to fly around on the world map, because in the early 2000s they didn't consider that some way of letting you just... Oh, we need a... I need to stay up for a little bit until we pass this mountain. They didn't consider a way in the early 2000s for you to click a button and keep flying without having to hold something down. So I can't stop taking a sip of my coffee while I'm sitting here dozing off without having to take my hands off the controller and stop what I'm doing. Anyway, there's no cham in here, so we got that one. Near the open silver pot, right there. Unless they mean this open silver pot, but either way, Cupel's not yelling at me, so let's leave. Alright, let's go ahead south to Horteca. Just before the entrance to the airship area? Let me double check that exactly. That's talking about the other airship area, I think. Like, not the entrance to Horteca, but... this way. The spot you go to get to... No, west. The spot where you're going to send team ship. I believe. Let's take a look at these entrances. Yeah, it's definitely in team ship. Okay, so it's a quick trip at least. It's like down here and up there, I think. Yeah, right here. There's no possible way I would have missed this considering the number of times I had to go back there. All right. Let's see. Skipping the temple up here, and we can go back to Maramba. It is definitely looking more and more likely that the one I missed is unfortunately either that one on Shrine Island or it's in a dungeon. But I did say I was going to go to Pirate Isle first, so let's head in that direction. That is a mountain. I don't need to fly up, or I don't need to fly down, or else I'm gonna physically run into it. Let's cross over top. Shrine Island is there. Pirate Isle is here. Okay, let's stop at our original home. And we're heading specifically to the crane underground. It's still wild that you can just see Shrine Island from here. I'm glad they didn't forget that. For the few people that had a reason to come back here, you would get a little visual neat thing to experience. Although maybe less neat and more foreboding. Literal dungeon that's there to end the world that everybody can just see. But still, would have been weird if it wasn't visible in the background. Alright, we're looking for crane up top. They mean that crane? And do they mean... Oh, they're talking about up on this ledge, actually. Okay. So it was, like, over here somewhere. And I remember this one very, very early in the game. Okay. We definitely have that already. Let's leave for now. And let me go back to this list really quickly before I... Well, let me get back to my ship, I guess. There's one on Shrine Island. We're not going to get that one. We'll check that one near the end when I go to Soltis. Because Shrine Island is literally part of Soltis now, so... Right, we need to head east from here to Maramba. I think that's the only other non-dungeon, non-Soltis one I can check. Versus entrance versus Dukas Island. West Brunswick, Fatoma, Crestile. Check both of those. Bistro, Glacia. Right. Okay. East, northeast of Maramba, and then southeast to Hamacho Island. What did you do that was unpopular? Also unpopular to who? We can just keep going. Oh, that's right. I always forget that I was waiting for like the sky reef to be there, but when Soltis comes up, it blows up like half the sky reefs around the world, so you can just fly to Maramba now without an issue. One of the new combos. Combo from like a Toku show. All right, this one is in the inn. Balcony of the inn, okay. Oh, that's what you mean, okay. Unfortunately, there's always gonna be those people in the fandom who just are okay with taking ridiculous translations even though they're obviously incorrect. I think this cham would be out here. Yeah, this is obviously the balcony on the inn it's talking about, and it's not here. All right. Okay, let's head to Hamacho Island now. Used to be called Barlatutor because we didn't know any better, which is a really not explanatory name, so it doesn't surprise me that there's probably a better translation. Here we go. That's very confusing. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Southeast. Leaning southish, so south-southeast. Yeah, I also don't see why that would need to be a reference to a Brazilian MMA fighter. Nothing about that combination seems overly Brazilian, so that really just sounds like them just whoever previously took that machine translation just trying to make an excuse, I think. Hamacho Island is somewhere up here? Just not seeing it yet? Where? Okay, over here. Ah. Right, I keep forgetting this is Dreamcast era. I need to remember, well, it's technically GameCube, but you gotta remember that back in this era, stuff you're flying to or trying to travel to would not show up on the map until you got like a lot closer. The draw distance in this game is not super huge. I need to keep that in mind. Search around near the partying Cho. It was like here-ish. Definitely got that one already. Okay. Oh, okay. I feel like it still doesn't make any sense with that combination of animals, though. Unless, like... maybe if the... you could maybe make an excuse for it if, like, gorilla was in that combo. Like, an animal that could stand up could potentially be doing the MMA, but I guess it depends on what the combo looks like. I still don't think it makes sense for that. But I haven't actually seen, like, the final version of that combo to see if it's, like, a fighter or a grappler. But... okay. I could see the line of thought. I think that is still pushing it, but I could see the line of thought, I suppose. All right, it wasn't a Hamacho Island, so unless it's at the Shrine Island or Solstice spots, well, it's not going to be the Solstice spots, I'm pretty sure. I will still double check those on my way back in as we hit the final boss. But I remember getting those two last stream, so it's possible it's in the Shrine Island spot. But the only other options are checking all of the dungeons. So let's do that, unfortunately, which means the first dungeon I want to go to is the Kotz Islands, south of here. And hopefully I remember how to get into the entrance that Aika and Fina took. Yeah, I think definitely based on that, I think they're still pushing it. I don't think it's accurate. Because usually with the katakana, it's like it has to be like a lot more accurate for you to be able to claim that, and a lot of times the katakana will just be vaguely similar and people will be like, oh, it's got to be, and it's not, because it's still too far away. It's not what the Japanese actually intended, and they're just trying to make an excuse, and that really feels like what they're doing here. All right, hopefully this is the right entrance. Well, hold on. I can tell. And I have to go into their side, so if this is... If it was the wrong entrance on the way in... Let me scroll down. Let's go back out to check. This doesn't look right. It's not, because there's no trees over here. Okay, this was the entrance that Vice originally took, Vice and Gilder. We need to go to... the other side of the island, I guess? I feel like there's only really one way in from out here. Unless they expect me to go in and go all the way through to the other side and go back out, which would suck. But I'm not really getting any other option. Where does this go? Was this a way out? Okay, this is another way to this side. Oh, interesting. Oh wait, this is just a shortcut to there? Well, where does this go? This leads out. We can't go that way anymore. It would be very weird if you were only able to go in one side of this dungeon after completing it. Oh, you can actually... Okay. I didn't realize they would still let you switch parties like that. All right, well, one of the champs I was looking for was right here, and it's not there now, so we'll go back in. I never realized they let you do this with this dungeon. That's hilarious. Anyway, the other one was on Iconfina's side. Is the party actually still split up right now? I'm curious. Oh, it is. That actually makes a certain amount of sense. All right, well, everything's unlocked, so I should just be able to keep going directly through. And actually have to do stuff though. It's not this room, it's the next one. Okay. All right, I actually have to like do stuff in here, which is kind of annoying, but oh well, nothing for it. So we have to start by going out and going down. No, this is like the side quick entrance in. Actually, I wonder if I can shortcut the same way. Like if I walk in and use one of these to switch over to them. Can I like shortcut into that room by going out entirely and taking that side path up? I might be wasting time here, but I feel like it's worth a try to see if I can sneak my way over. Okay, I will check out that Blender mock-up probably after stream, or at least during the next break. General opinions right now is Bandai is picking new power. that would actually not be a bad thing. Especially if they're making more stuff. I feel like those legs got overused in so many combos. Okay, if I'm here, can I just come up and out? Oh, no. You have to like rotate stuff in this room to get out. That's just a quick way to... Okay, that's not gonna work. Alright, I was hoping that would be a shortcut, but it was not. We are actually gonna have to do some of the rotating in some of these rooms. And I will start by going back to the spot that I was previously in. So out here, going back in here. Man, at this rate, I might not actually finish the game because it's going to take so long to backtrack through all these areas. That would kind of suck, but we'll see. Maybe I'll just run the stream significantly late because I would hate to have to keep playing this game again next week when I said that I was going to finish it today. And I don't really have anything I'm doing this evening before 9-ish. So if I need to run late, it's fine. Okay, we'll send that up. That's a chest I didn't open on this side. Dang, okay. Well, while I'm here, but I can't use those. That's another thing. I have to like use items up in order to make them available. So yeah, I really don't think it's worth trying to find the chest that I'm missing and all that stuff. So for now, let's move on. And the cham that I would have missed would be somewhere in here. Let me take a look at the guide here. Go to the treasure chests. Cross the two bridges directly in front of you, which would be that one and this one. And it would have been right around here. Let me rotate my view and see if it's... Yeah, it was like in the center of this. Okay. All right, I did get that cham, so we'll backtrack. I feel like leave it as is, because if I just leave the dungeon entirely, they'll be back to a full party. And if I leave it in this position, then maybe I can come back after I've beaten the game on my own time in the future and get the thing in that chest. I don't think I'm going to have the energy to bother with that, but at least I'll be leaving it in a position where it's possible, I suppose. All right, either way, we definitely got the 2 chams in this island, so, or in this dungeon. All right, we do have the full party back now. Let's see. Where do I want to go next? Let's see. There's one in the Temple of Piran. There's 2 in Moonstone Mountain. There was 2 in Rixus. One in Mount Kazai. I guess we'll go to the Mount Kazai one because we're right around the corner from there. Oh, that's Dark Rift. I can't just fly through that. I have to cross over it. All right, that's better. Seems to be released a gunmetal black version of Elephant. Oh, that's kind of nice. After the drop from the room with 4 passages. Okay, we gotta just go in first. I really have no idea how far I gotta go, but I hate how it turns the camera like that. It's so ridiculous. It's just confusing because then you don't know which way you're going if you're not paying attention to the mini-map, which I wasn't. Are they talking about this room? There are 4 passages here, so they might be talking about this room. After the drop from the room, yeah, okay. Let's drop down. And hopefully this is correct. And hopefully I remember how to get back up after this. I think there's something in here that I can just climb, or a door I can go in that will just lead me back. But there's only one way I can go, so yeah, all right. Go down the passage until you reach a fork. Added an extra connector to elephant so it can just be an arm itself. Oh. I guess that lets me reclimb, but I'm supposed to go this way first. Go south. That led to the boss. I think I scrolled too far down in this guide. It's really difficult to tell what they're talking about with everything looking the same here, but I think they're talking about this hallway. There was a cham right here. Okay. So no surprise we have that one already. So hopefully we can get back by climbing this rope and going all the way. Hopefully that spits us back at the 4 passage room, because it's pretty straightforward to get out from there. All right, let me look at the list. let's see again. Tiplopiran. I never knew how to pronounce that. Tiplopiran, Moonstone Mountain, Rixus. Actually, that might be it. Tiplopiran, we checked those. Moonstone Mountain, Rixus. We did the Cots Island already. Wait, this was the way out, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Okay, Tiplopiran, we checked those already. Moonstone Mountain, Rixus, we checked those. Those were relevant. We checked those. Delphinus, Bronze. We just finished Mount Kazai. Course Bishop, Glacier, Lickmasala, Hamacho. Okay. Oh, the Twin Moonstone Mountain are pretty early in, so that's not horrible. Anyway, it looks like only 3 more non-Solstice dungeons left to check, actually. And I am more and more worried that the one I'm missing is actually in Shrine Island, which means these next 3 dungeons I'm going to check are going to be worthless checks. Which is going to be very annoying if that's the case, but such is life. Let's do... Maybe I should go to Shrine Island really quickly, just to check. Just in case that's the case. Because it wouldn't take that much effort to leave if that turns out to be the case. But maybe I actually fly southeast to go to Moonstone Mountain on the way. Because those 2 are, like I was saying, they're pretty early in. The Rixus one of them is near the end. I don't think it would be either of those. The Temple of Piran and the Rixus ones are fairly far in, so maybe I go to Moonstone Mountain first, check those 2. Go to Shrine Island, check the 1. And then we'll deal with the other 2 if that turns out to not be the case. Yeah, I think that's a good plan. So we'll go southeast first. Apparently there's an ad about to start. Is that true? It almost certainly must be true, but if it is, I think I will actually take a break. I can use a stretch. But let me wait to see if the ad starts before I do that. Oh, it did. There it goes. Okay. All right. Let me go to my break screen and I will use the bathroom and stretch a little bit, and I'll be back in about 3 minutes. All right, welcome back. Thank you for waiting through that. Let's see. Go back to that. Click on that because I was sitting there before I went to the bathroom. I did take a look at that Blender image you DM'd real long, and it looks, I think trying to tie that to MMA in any form seems like a fool's errand. that doesn't seem like a type of combo that would do that kind of thing. Kicks, yes, but like, I don't know. I don't buy it. So I think that is probably not a good translation, as you have already guessed. And that you probably made the right call, but we'll see what they say, I guess. Fandom's gonna fandom. At the first fork, turn left and okay, that's a cool concept, actually. What fork are they talking about? We haven't even gotten to the fork in question. Let me be safe about this. God, I hate this dungeon so much. Let me take a look at the... We're already in the room we can see below, so did I go too far? I think I did. I went too far. It's talking about an earlier spot. But one of the spots it's talking about is potentially in this room. In the first room that you can see below, across the other side via the left path. Then get on the middle path and search into the trap panel. Nothing. Okay, let's backtrack then. But you definitely got that one. At least I was still correct in that this was all early, so I don't have to go far in the dungeon looking for this nonsense. The first fork it might be talking about might actually be this one. If so, there's certainly nothing there now. The only other option would be something in one of these rooms. That doesn't look right though. This room is the drop-off point. That's irrelevant. That's not a fork in the way it's talking about though, so unless it means down here, which also doesn't have a jam beeping at me though, so. All right, yeah, I think we're done with this dungeon. It was not either of those two spots that we missed. All right, so we'll follow with my original plan, which is to head east from here to Solstice and just pop into Shrine Island to see if the cham I'm missing there, or if the cham I'm missing is the one from there. And then instead of continuing on into Solstice, we'll just leave. And I guess head to the Temple of Piran and then to Rixus. I really hope it's not Rixus, because we'd have to go really far into it for that one. Northeast-ish. Or we can just head direct because there's no sky reefs anymore. The downside about me trying to find this last cham and then continue to play to go ahead and beat the three phases of the final boss means that I'll probably be playing until 7-ish, which means if I try to log back into the EU side of Final Fantasy XIV, it'll be 1 in the morning for most of the people in that server, so I won't be able to get queues to level my dancer anymore, which is unfortunate, but that's what I get, and I want to keep going for now, so it's fine. I shall live. Let's pop over here. Shrine Island. Third level down from the entrance of the dead into the spiral. Okay. If it turns out that I'm missing this one, first of all, I would be embarrassed because that's literally the second cham in the game. But also that was before Fina joined the party, so it's possible that I just never decide to go back into Shrine Island to pick it up. But also in that case, why would I have missed it when I came in here? But nothing for it. At any rate, if it still turns out to be the case, that will make things easier because literally I will already be here in the final dungeon to keep going. Third level down from entrance to the dead end of the spiral, so we just keep going. Past the steps that would lead all the way down, I guess. You can just walk down to go in there. All right, let me look at the guide. Okay, no, it's actually talking about like right here, and I definitely got that. All right, unfortunately, that means the one I'm missing is not in here, so I can't just roll out and go ahead, complete the dungeon here and now. That means there's 3 more spots to check in previous dungeons. And 2 spots technically in this dungeon. I guess we'll go to the... We can go to Temple of Piran next. The thing about all these dungeons is as annoying as it will be to go back into them, again, I do have currently battles turned off, so it's like it's not going to be that big of a deal to backtrack, especially in these next 2 dungeons. Well, Rixus in particular is going to be a little confusing, but it's not going to be... Rixus is almost as bad as Glacia, but it's not going to be as bad as like Mount Kazai, at least, so I shouldn't get too lost, I think is what I'm saying. So yeah, let's start with Temple of Piran, which is up here. So east northeast-ish. Let me through, please. Yeah, that's correct. We need to hug this sky reef. Let me double check to this. Okay, let's keep going. That reminds me, another thing that I needed to do in order to get the final advice of the King of Legend, or whatever the title is, that I hadn't yet done, is fight something like 30 shit battles out in the open world that are not against bosses, and I fought like 0. Okay, should be a pretty relatively straight shot to what I'm looking for. Well, except for having to do this nonsense. I don't know how far I need to go to the... Maybe I should have gone in from the other direction, but this is fine. I'm trying to get around to... There's 2 hallways in this dungeon with rolling boulders. And the second one was the one that had a sham in it. Oh, that was just a chest. Okay. Not the right way. Unfortunate. Walking through with no battles turned on is actually nice because then you get to hear the entirety of the music. Okay, we gotta go this way then. That's not what I'm thinking of. Okay, there was all of this, which we completed, so we should just be able to run right through and go straight to that door. Presumably this is... not what I'm thinking of. No, we gotta keep going. Okay. Wow, the animation of those doors is... that is pretty ridiculous for GameCube era, but whatever. I think we do have to go this way, and it's... we're on a different floor now. Oh, this is the hallway from another angle. Dang, okay, we came backwards. Intersection of the hall against the left wall. That seems... that's not a good description. Thanks, game. Well, realistically, they're talking about that spot that I was just in. I guess the verification would be to keep going this way and to see if I encounter another hallway with boulders. Boulders that are thankfully turned off at this point. Oh wait, this is a way out. Where was the first falling boulder hall then? That does imply this is correct then, because it's... wait, but also we're going down and out into the... so they would be falling behind me? This is quite confusing. But there's no other way to go in this room except the way we came. And here we had to solve this puzzle. Let me check something here. Yeah, no, that's not any help. It's really difficult to remember all of what's what. I guess what I should do is keep going, because we know that there's a path out through the final boss area that leads back out of the entrance of the dungeon. So if I don't run into another falling boulder path on the way, then presumably I'm good. It's just the guy that I'm using is talking about a falling boulder path that I would have encountered on the way. It mentions that there's two falling boulder paths essentially, and I don't remember seeing the first one on our way through here, so where was it? And is the one I went into the first or the second, and therefore do I need to go to the other one? I guess what I can do is save my state as I leave this dungeon in case that wasn't the right one. There's definitely nothing. The falling boulder path isn't up there. So yeah, I guess I will save my state on the way out. I suppose I could also just re-enter the dungeon from the other side and just look to see what I missed. That's a door. I need to click the button to actually enter the door. Just looking to see if there's no reason any other door would have suddenly opened anywhere in there, but I was curious. Okay, let's head back in here then. One more time. I think that's it. Oh, that's the other falling boulder highway. Okay. Right here, the entrance. Got it. Well, I can double check here real quickly, but it was specifically talking about the second hall of the falling boulder, so it wouldn't be this one. Oh wait, no. This is not a falling boulder hallway. Okay. Alright, so let's keep going then. Oh, then we gotta go down from here again. So much unnecessary backtracking. Not helped by it's just being difficult to figure out where I am. Even with the mini-map, it's a little bit confusing. Oh, but I think this is the falling. Yeah, because there's a hole up here that it would have been dropping from. Okay, so this was actually the first falling boulder hallway. And so based on the screenshot I remember seeing, they would have been talking about here if the champ was there, and it's not. Okay, so we're good then. We do have all the chams from this dungeon. So now I can legitimately leave. Which means unless I missed one of the two in Soltis that I remember literally picking up last stream, then I have to be missing a Cham and a Rixus. Which I also thought I got both of those, but... those are the only places left to double check, so... we shall double check them. And if I can't find the one I'm missing there, then I guess I will go back to Soltis. And if the one I'm missing is not there, then I have no idea what's going on. And I'm going to be at the point where I just don't care. And we're just going to go into the final battle with Fina not having her ultimate weapon, unfortunately. Because after spending 2 hours double checking all locations, I will give up at that point. And I'm pretty confident that I can just... We can beat the game without it if necessary, but I would really like to go in with final Cupel. Alright, for now let's leave. Alright, so we gotta go to Rixus, which is pretty far to the west. I could probably head east from there and get quicker. A little bit quicker. Alright, we'll head directly east. One of the two in Rixus is right at the entrance. I'm not likely to miss that one because that required that I place... that was where I placed one of the things to even enter the dungeon in the first place, so I would assume that I would have encountered the Cham as I was rooting around there. Alright, it's somewhere down here. Can never remember exactly where it is. The positioning on the map is not accurate. It might actually be easier to come out here and then turn and look. That's not it either. There we go. All right, and let me look at the guide to verify this. It's over here. Maybe I missed this one? I feel like Cupid would have yelled at me if I was in this area and... wow. Okay, this was the one I missed. I guess if you're over here, put the thing in, but you don't come over here, you would have never encountered it. Well, great. Unfortunately, that was like the fourth to last, so I did end up going through all of them unnecessarily, but the important thing is we got the final Cham, and we now have final Cupel. Okay, so everybody has their ultimate weapons now. Amazing. 2 hours of me just fucking around, flying random places. I hope you all enjoyed that. Let's go fight the final boss. Let me pull up my guide for the final boss first of all. All right, let's head back above the skies, and we're going back to Shrine Island. Word of the Reflecting Pool cocktail? No, I've not seen that. I'm also trying to figure out what reflecting pool we're talking about here. Oh, that reflecting pool. I'm not sure what you're referring to by that in particular, but I have seen like a bajillion memes about it. 75% I feel are from Harpsiboard, who has been like on fire with the memes. Oh my god. Okay. That at least that looks a lot more delicious than what that nonsense is. All right, I'm going to leave random battles off as we travel through here. I basically just want a straight shot to the final boss. I'm also going to save my state when I get there, and then switch to a different slot, and then save my state in between each battle. But we're in a pretty good position. I feel like we should just be able to go straight to. Oh man. Oh yeah, I just saw the fruit roll up. That's I'm generally not a fan of drinks that have stuff in them like that. But I guess if it dissolved fully, then it would be okay. All right, so we're going all the way down here, down the steps, through the gate in the back. It's a bit of a trip. There we go. Down past broken boss that we fought at the very beginning of the game. Into Soltis proper. And since we're not picking up chests, we're just leaving, so I can sort of just very quickly go around these paths. Oh, right, there's this. It's not quick because we have to do this weird nonsense. I think we can just. No, right, we have to. Forgot it's like weirdly busted through many of these paths. So we still have to follow the maze, essentially. I think the issue here is that the mini-map is not entirely accurate as to where it claims you can go on the inner path. So you don't know what's safe to take from that POV. But I think from here, I can go this way now. And then we head north to cross over for a final save point beyond this broken path outside. Oh, right, no, there's this first. And actually, I know we don't need to take the doors, but I don't remember which paths we need to take. Let me re-look up this guide. Skip that one, take this one. There was a moonberry on the way that I guess I skipped. Anyway, go down here. Well, this is the only way I can go. That's another teleporter. I think there was a moonberry in here, which I clearly already got. So the only option now is to take this teleporter anyway. That's the only way. Let's see. That's also a room I already went in. I am so lost right now. I really don't need to fill out the map like that. Is that the moonberry it's talking about? Before then... Well, this is back where we started, so maybe I need to take this teleporter instead. Oh, put me in another ad break. Whoops. Okay. Well, I'll just let that run. Oh, this is a different treasure chest. Oh, that's the moonberry. Okay. Inside the room before stepping on the next teleporter. Okay, now I'm actually just following the guide straight up. Take the next door, of which there's literally only the one. We can backtrack by going that way, but this leads us to the final boss. We just forgot a moonberry on the way, interestingly. How many moonberries do I have now? It doesn't show those here, which is interesting. Oh, it does. 3 of them. Okay. That's irrelevant because everybody who's in my party has all their super moves anyway. All right. I should actually take another bathroom break before we do this final boss. So I'm gonna go to my break screen. I'll be back in a few. All right, thank you for hanging on through what presumably is one final break. We'll see. Anyway, back to the game. We are finally done with everything we needed to do. I made my way. I figured out where to go, so now it's really just a straight shot at the final boss. Let me get up to the next save point, which I believe is through these doors. This looks like not a save point. Take the next door to the last save point up ahead. This seems weird. Let me save my state first of all. I'll go ahead and turn off no random battles. I don't need that anymore. Let's see. Save state in this slot. I don't see a save point, but this is probably another teleporter. So let's just take that. Maybe the save point is through here. Ah, it's right here. Okay. That's tough to see. Okay. It's safe. We're safe. Okay. Saving that there. All right, let me save my state again. I'll save this slot. But then I'll also go ahead and start saving in the other slots. Let's save in slot 2, and that will be the slot we use for now. Hello? There we go. All right. This fucking dude. There's Zelos. Well, we made it. Ramirez? Why did you do it? Why did you kill him? Why did you kill him? Oh boy, he has completely lost it. Ramirez, it's okay. It's over now. Come with us. Lord Galcium is the only man fit to rule this pathetic world. He was the only man capable of saving these fools from their wretched existence. And you murdered him. You shall pay. No, not just you. The whole world shall pay. The rain shall wash away all of you. I swear it. It was what Lord Galcium would have wanted. You have sealed the fate of this world by killing the only man who could have saved it, and now you will die. Dang, alright. It's not gonna go that way, but anyway. Okay, I'm actually gonna save my state again. So I don't have to go through that cutscene again. Alright, cool. I think most of this fight is going to be... It's all silver attacks, so I should set my weaknesses for that. If the enemy is silver, then I should problem is if I set my team for yellow, then Silver's going to do 10% extra damage, and vice versa. So I think any color except yellow or silver is fine. Well, silver's technically fine. It won't do more damage to itself. But nobody should be yellow for right now, is basically the deal. Okay. I should be guarding a lot, I think. But for now, let's I can have Fina guard when she's not doing anything more specific. Wait, let me check. I was just talking about nobody being yellow. Let me make sure that's the case. Okay. Delta Shield is absolutely necessary. Fina can actually use a... Hold on a second. His destruction attack clears stuff off though, so maybe we don't bother with Glyphs of Might until Vice is about to attack. So let me just continue focusing. I think that's probably the good tactic here. I will Glyph of Might Vice right before he does Pirate's Wrath anytime. But otherwise, focusing for everybody. He technically already has enough, but then they wouldn't be able to dodge anything, so we will continue. We'll do another turn of shields before the Pirate's Wrath. Oh man, the Delta Shield is so important. That would have been instant death. A tournament is guaranteed instant death. Oh, hi, Sun Galaxia. Having only seen bits and pieces of this game, still don't really understand the battle system well. That's the annoying part about the in-game fights in this game. It's really two characters blocking all attacks while the others just focus for super moves, which makes battles kind of boring, actually. Speaking of, he's purple normally. I need to try to remember that. Yellow for now, because we're finally going to have him attack. But everybody else needs to continue doing their usual shielding. And I don't think this is going to do a lot of damage. I think this is going to... Why Lunar Blessing? What exactly is that about to do is my question. That's a buff to him. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of Pirate's Wraths. Okay. Oh. Eesh. Alright, that's still fine though. We'll focus. We'll have him go off yellow for now. Back to purple. You focus. You Delta Shield. We need to have her cast Lunar Winds to get rid of his regen. And then, same deal. Aika and Enrique are basically stuck on shield duty for the entirety of this fight. Vice is gonna Pirate's Wrath when he can, and he will otherwise focus or heal if necessary, and healing will need to happen here. This is gonna do damage to everybody. Fina will also focus, mostly heal when necessary. Or the Lunar Winds I just cast will remove his regen, so she'll probably have to do that every so often too. Thankfully, the shield that Enrique casts, normally that attack would do like 2,000 damage, which would be really painful on everybody, but His shield, the Justice Shield that Enrique casts, basically halves or roughly halves the damage from any attack. Ica's shield, Delta Shield, is the far more important one because that basically cancels out any magic attacks. They reflect, or they don't reflect, they just don't do anything, which is very, very important in this fight because a lot of the magic attacks that the boss can cast are instant death attacks, which I don't want to have to deal with. For now, we'll have her use a Sacrum box, I guess. I really should have gotten more of those. Then we can just use crystals. They didn't take enough damage to have 1,000, so a crystal will be good enough. If I can focus up enough to use the party-wide super move, that will help too. Yeah, this is where Ica's Delta Shield comes in handy. So Vice doesn't just instantly die. This would be a very annoying fight if you had to deal with that too. But since Ica's Delta Shield is up, that means I cannot heal via magic, so I have to use items for that. We need to switch back to yellow for him, do more damage. Alright, he can do a Pirate's Wrath again, and we have enough SP left for the shields, as usual. Alright, so we can get a little bit more hits on now. But Ramirez is still gonna have so much HP. It's progress though. Oh, he regens himself again. Ugh. And in the spirit of all the classic JRPGs, there's no skipping any of the enemy animations for super moves. So we had to wait for all that, which was just a regen. Like, okay, guy. All right, so focus again. Wait, go back to purple again for safety's sake. Focus. Delta Shield. You need a Lunar Winds his regen away. And a Justice Shield again. Yeah, with lower levels and not a right team, this would be a very difficult fight. With high levels and a right team, it's just a long fight. Not difficult, but you just have to sit here for a while as you chip away the damage. It's kind of annoying, but... the whole team having their ultimate weapons does help. Even if I'm not using Final Cupil, at least Phoenix got the stat boost for it, so... we need to focus more, so let's do the usuals. Yeah, it's very nice tone. Interestingly, it's not one of the ones that has a lot of the boss battles in this game have variations. Ooh, new move. We haven't seen this yet. A lot of the boss battles in this game have variations on the music where it changes if you're close to death or if the boss is close to death. This is not one of those. Oh, that's single target damage. Okay. Fina will need to heal Vice after this, probably. Wow, that looked very, very painful. And yet, Enrique's Justice Shield made it not actually leave Vice on the verge of death, which was nice. Okay. You can go ahead and Pirate's Wrath again. We have enough SP for that now. The usual shields. She will use a Sacralin Crystal. That's probably the safer option, especially since I have like 99 of them. And Justice Shield. One thing I could have done before I came in here that I completely forgot about was blowing all my money on the optional stat increase items that you can buy from your shop at your home base in the end game. They're very expensive, but at this point in the game I have nothing else I need to spend money on, so I could have done that to make things easier, but not particularly a huge issue. This team is more than good enough to finish everything off anyway, so. All right, another lunar wins next turn. He hasn't once used his destruction ability, but that's because I specifically, I haven't actually been casting Glyph of Might on Vice to make his attack more powerful. And at this point, I might not bother, actually. It will just get wiped away. And the Pirate's Rats are dealing enough damage as is anyway. Alright, we'll hit you with that. We should still have enough. The shield, she needs the lunar winds. Yeah, there's enough for everybody still. Yeah, leaving that going for too long is just not good. So basically, after lunar winds every turn, he does his blessing just to get rid of it. All right, there goes that. Maybe 2 more Pirate's Wrath, maybe a 3rd if I'm unlucky. All right, back to focusing. There's Enrique is one of 3 optional 4th party members. I could have come in here with Gilder or Drachma instead. 2 other air pirates. They have their pluses and minuses, but coming in here with either of them means you don't have Enrique's Justice Shield, which means all of the attacks from all the final boss phases hit twice as hard. that's not ideal. I think I have just barely enough for this. We'll focus. Yeah, it's fine. I am probably gonna have to focus for 2 more turns after this, though. A whole lot of waiting. It is a classic JRPG, so what was I expecting, but... There's your region. There's a lot of damage. Alright, switch you back to purple. We'll focus. Shield. Wins and shield. He does have the visual animation where he's hurting, even if the music is not changing for it, which is pretty cool. Alright, Fina will need a party heal after this. It's nice to fight him again as the final boss, or as phase 1 of the final boss, and have this attack specifically not nearly kill the entire party in one go. The first time you run into him, which is a scripted battle that you have to lose, that attack did like 90% damage to your group. It was very, very rough. All right, we will continue to focus. We don't have enough for anything else right now, but shield. Sack and crystal's good enough. And shield. We might have enough for a Pirate's Wrath next turn. Maybe. I'll see. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I feel like it mostly has to do. I think his stats were like bumped up during that story battle anyway, but also a lot of it is just because I'm like 30 levels higher at this point. So, that's enough for Pirate's Wrath. Go back to yellow. That's just barely enough. Delta shield focus, just a shield. If we're lucky, this might do it. If not, we'll need one more Pirate's Wrath after it. Nice, I did it. All right, that's phase 1 done of 3. Oh, look at all this level up that doesn't really matter. Well, that's not true. The phase 3 fight is back on feet, so I will need the party. The party having better stats for that fight will help. The second phase is a ship battle, though, which ends with you getting a Captain's Stripe, but there's no more ship battles in the game at that point, so, like, the reward is worthless. Ew, how could you? Ramirez, stop, please. I don't want to fight you. Too late for that. Literally, it's too late, Fina. There's no going back. I'll kill everyone and everything in this world. I will not be defeated. Ramirez, what are you doing? This is not good. Have you forgotten? Zelos' power does not stop with the moons. Zelos is almighty. And only Sylvites can control it. To control Zelos, I shall forfeit my life. Oh, right. Ramirez, please, don't! The Ramirez you know is already dead, Fina. Zelos, I sacrificed my life for you. Zelos, awaken, I command you. It is always 3 phases. The game splits it up by having, it's actually like 3 different bosses, technically, instead of 1 boss that you fight 3 phases of. But it still does like the classic JRPG multiple phases. It's changing. Ramirez, why did he? Everyone, we have to retreat. If we stay here, we'll all be crushed. I'm doing my best for the voice acting, but it sure was a choice. I love this RPG a lot, but I'm definitely not playing an RPG next week. I need a break from the constant actually trying to read every single line of the game out loud. I still need to figure out what I'm gonna play. That is very ominous looking. That's Zelos? How do you expect us to beat this thing? Zelos hasn't finished taking shape. Once it does, it will be invincible. But if we attack while it's still forming... I understand. This is our only chance. Everyone, battle stations. We must defeat Zelos here and now. Yes. All right. Let's see. Next on the to-do list. Now, Zelos. Let's finish this. We're not finishing it. It's a 2-phase fight. It's a 3-phase fight. This is only phase 2. I'm going to save my state on this slot, so I don't have to restart if I do anything dumb. Maintain distance. We don't know what Zealous is capable of. Let's keep our distance until we can formulate some kind of a plan. Does anybody even have this ability that is telling me to cast? Yes, thank goodness. That's true. Let me read this guide really quickly. Be better to have. I don't even have increments. Oh, I do have increment. I could cast that. I mainly want to. I don't want to waste all that though. Let's start by focusing first. And let's use a complete, let's start wasting our complete kits. This is literally the final ship fight we're gonna be doing in this game. So 99 of them they're about to go. And then I'm gonna guard on that turn. I'm gonna need to cast Salinas. I don't know how often I need to cast that. I don't know when it runs out, but we need to keep him silent. We need to keep this boss silenced for the entirety of the fight. We don't want this boss casting magic attacks, or things are gonna get pretty rough. Well, I have 99 of them, but that was a completely wasted kit because the boss didn't actually get any attacks off yet. I am keeping an eye on. I haven't needed to bother with anything yet, but I'm trying to keep an eye on my phone because I'm technically on call for work right now, but I haven't needed to break at all. So if I need to break to like take a work call or something, I will. But so far things are good on that end. All right, that wasn't actually a lot of damage. I think I can not worry about the complete kits for now. It looks like all of Zealous' attacks are coming out of that symbol in the middle. We're gonna attack from the front. Yeah, that's true. Harkening back to Sonic 1, because there's only 6 of them, but that's very true. It's dangerous, but that symbol might be, maybe its weak point. We've got to attack it from the front. We're still gonna need to guard on that turn. Cool, he's still silenced. Excellent. So we don't have to cast Silence every round. That's good. Alright, let's see. I'm going to cannon here. We'll torpedo here. We'll cannon here. And then we'll guard. And we'll see how much damage I come out of this turn with. I'm hoping, I think because I'm attacking from the front, the next round will include a guaranteed Moonstone Cannon shot. I'm hoping I have enough spirit points to fire that. That I didn't just blow too much of it here. We shall see. While I'm waiting through this. Alright, solid damage. Moonstone Cannon will do a lot more once I can fire it, but that's not happening this round. Alright, what kind of damage are we about to hit here? Okay, the same attack as before, so not that much. That's pretty good. Keep attacking from the front. We're actually not getting a Moonstone Cannon shot off. Oh, we got to close in on him for that. Okay. I don't want to blow through all my spirit points, though. Let's start with another Selenis, because that only lasts 2 rounds, apparently. And I'm gonna get off a... Let's do a torpedo shot to land there. You can guard on the last turn. And Enrique, let's go ahead and use a complete kit. Get the health back up. The Selenis was well timed. I really don't want to deal with a hasted version of this boss. That would suck. Not to mention all the attacks we'd be getting off right now. But getting those attacks off faster than I could, like, guard, defend myself, would really be bad. This song in particular sounds very Castlevania boss. All right, we got an ad break starting in 9 seconds, but I'm not going to stop here, so we won't be that much further in 3 minutes from now. So, as always, those of you without Twitch Turbo or a sub, see you in a couple of minutes. Oh, of course we get minor story at that point. Looks like Zelos is slowing down. I think we're damaging it. All right, now's our chance to attack. Open fire. We'll do the front and we get, oh, look at all this Moonstone Cannon. Okay, that's great. Let's go ahead and get one of those shots off. Let's do the last one. And that's the only one we can do. We're not going to get any Moonstone Cannon on the next round, so I feel like we might as well just run out of all my abilities here. So let's torpedo to land here. And also level cannon. No, moon gun. To go 4 phases. 3, that is all I can afford. Ooh, very good damage. Ooh. That's not good. right, well, wait a second here. Let me read this. Got it, okay. Welcome back from the break. Things happened while folks were away. I got my super weapon shot off, but because I chose the strategy that lets me get that off, the boss is about to do some heavy damage now. Creatures of the Silver Civilization have no set shape and can morph at will, just like Cupel. Perhaps when they made Zelos, they gave it similar characteristics. Vice, what should we do? You're the captain here. Tell us what to do. Choosing to close in on the turns thereafter. Play it safe and keep our distance will, I think, only have one red turn. We should play it safe and keep our distance. Let's back off for a little bit. Yeah. We will have an option to get another Moonstone Cannon shot off next turn, maybe. For now, Zelos is not silenced anymore, which is not good. But I know it's going to use this Judgment attack first. So let's start with a guard. And that will deal 20,000-ish. We'll still be alive with that with plenty left over, so I think I will do the complete kit on the third turn. Actually, I could probably guard on that turn. I do the complete kit on the last one. Get the maximum amount of usage out of it, maybe. We definitely need to put a Selenis in there, though. Let's see how this works. Wow, focusing on everything. Yeesh. The guide says I would deal 20,000 damage. It only did 5,000. Okay. Was it because I backed away? Oh, what? The Selenis didn't hit? Wow, that's kind of bad, actually. Well, we do have the complete kit happening on the last turn, so... Well, I did guard in the first turn. Maybe that's because it didn't do 20,000. I wasn't expecting it to drop to 5,000, though. Maybe I should cast Selenis first while I'm still close instead of guarding. I'll take a lot more damage during that attack, but at least it will get off, maybe? Yeah, it's dangerous, but let's try this. Close in on Zelos. Probably take a few hits, but we need to take a chance. Let me guard again. Let me try another Selenis. Let's get a Moonstone Cannon shot in. And we'll guard here. And we'll complete kit on the next one. Let's see how this does. Okay, still very little damage because of the guarding, so that's good. Good. It got cast that time, so now we have less nonsense to deal with. That's great. I'll just remember to recast it at the start of 2 rounds from now. Not wait until halfway through the round. Moonstone Cannon. Should be some solid damage. I think we're gonna need at least one more Moonstone. No, like 3 more. This fight's gonna take a bit. We can do the shut off here. We can afford the 1. We'll guard. Nothing's really going on, so I can just focus and complete kit. We won't be able to move Moonstone Cannon on the next turn, but at least this will get us back to, we'll build our spirit back up. So we can start popping Moonstone Cannon shots off ASAP as soon as they're available again after this round. Oh, that's the big attack. Okay. All right, the boss wasn't actually even casting that big attack that does all the damage. All right, that wasn't that bad actually. We guarded, so it still was like. I see now. That attack, if you don't guard, is the one that does like 20,000. But since I did guard, it wasn't horrible. And we're gonna use a complete kit later this turn anyway, so. Alright, pretty well off now. And we got another Moonstone Cannon shot coming up. I think. I've already forgotten what I was doing this turn. Oh, another judgment though. This is definitely why the guide that I'm reading is recommending you guard every single red turn. And I didn't guard that turn, so oof. Still okay though. Alright, we're still in a good place though. Good job, Ice. Zealous' guard is letting up. I think we found an opening. I think I want to do this one. Let's see, we're going to... We need to silent us again. And we're gonna guard, and we're gonna guard again, and we're gonna complete kit. I'm actually going to not use any of this turn to... do any attacking. We'll just let the spirit points build up so that we'll have plenty for the next Moonstone Cannon round. It's a safer option by far. Man, just the instant cast Reigns of Destruction on me, that's... But it's fine. Complete kit this turn will instantly fill my health back up to full, so... And then the next one will just deal, what, 9,000 damage, so... Assuming my guard goes off in time, which it should, because the boss is not hasted since I keep silencing it. Yeah, there we go. Hmm. I'm actually a little confused here about which one to go with. Let me save another slot and try to just keep firing and see what it gives me. Nothing different. What about the other option? Same thing. Okay. What was the difference? I'm trying to get the option that will give me Moonstone Cannon again, but I guess for now I'll do the same thing actually. Let's focus. Guard. Complete kit and guard. We'll need a Solenis on the next turn again, but I might need to start laying on the damage to get the Moonstone Cannon turn to actually come back around. Let me see if the other guide says anything about this fight, actually. Yeah, the close-in option only works if you're doing damage, so starting the next turn I really need to start laying on the regular cannons since I can't Moonstone right now. Because until I do a lot more damage, to getting closer option will eventually give me like 4 Moonstone Cannon shots again, or opportunities at least. But right now it's not. Okay. First, we need to silence him again. And then we guard, and then we have a lot more power right now, so we can actually get an attack in there. And we'll guard again. If we're double guarded, we don't need to use a complete kit this turn. I'll definitely want to start the next turn with one, though. Yeah, this is some absolute Castlevania energy right here. Thinking of like all the DS games. This definitely sounds like a Portrait of Ruin boss fight or something like that. That was a respectable amount of damage, actually. Should be able to get a lot more shots in next turn. Actually, no, we won't. If we got a complete kit in the first round, then we're only going to get 1 shot in. Between the Solenis and the complete kit, yeah, it's going to be just like 1 cannon shot every round for a while. But that's fine, because we'll still keep a pretty high spirit point percentage then. Since that means only once a round will we be using abilities that will use up spirit points, so yeah, we're still like in the 70s, so that's not bad. complete kit immediately. Aika can get a cannon shot off in that round, and then the usual double guard. And those regular cannon shots we'll have to do for hopefully not for too long. Actually, the spirit point number will go down regularly though, because every other round we're gonna have to use the cannon shot and Silenus. But right now, while there's 2 judgments happening every round, I really have no opportunity to focus, so I'd have to just... If I need the extra spirit points, I'd have to not do the cannon shots for a round again. Which is an option, but then it would be taking even longer to get to the next phase where we can actually finally start doing damage, so... It's an option I'll have to think about. But I don't want to stretch this out too long, so we'll see. Bad time for my eyes to get watery. Oh well. Alright, there's that again. Alright, still doing solid. No real change here. We have to silence it now. Let me go ahead and complete kit here, actually. Alright, this again. One thing I can try, actually, if this complete kit... If we're doing good enough HP-wise after this complete kit, I don't have to cast Silenus on the next round, so I could do 2 cannons on that round. A regular cannon on round 3, and then one of the multi-cannon, the multi-turn cannons on round 1. Yeah, that's a good idea. That will give me a little bit more damage and might push me closer to the next portion of this fight, maybe. So I'll see how that works. Seeing this over and over and over again is starting to get very boring. My apologies. I don't know why I'm apologizing. The developers of this game are at fault there, but all right, same deal. But yeah, let's try this tactic now. I'm gonna moon cannon on that round. I'm going to moon gun here and stretch that out the entirety of the round, and then we'll do the double guard. And that will leave us with 40 plus spirit points, so I can start the next round with Silenus, and hopefully it'll let me start doing some moonstone cannon shots at that point, maybe? We'll see. If not, I'll probably just Silenus and complete kit. Plus double guard. And then maybe start focusing again the next round. Yeah, for sure. But it is the second phase of the final boss, so if there was any fight in this game that was going to be a war of attrition, it was going to be this one. Okay, some good damage here. And then one more moon gun shot on the last round as we get judgmented. Oh, but then the boss just guarded, so might not do a lot of damage. It still did a respectable amount. Oh, we finally got it. All right. Excellent. Zealous' claws, they're falling off. Just a little more, just a little bit more. We've almost got him. All right. Closing in. This is our chance. Let's finish this. Ready the Moonstone Cannon. We'll put an end to this. Still very dangerous turns here, actually, but at least we can pop off. However, I have to guard here, and I have to cast Selenis here. So it's gonna take a bit before we can get the complete kit out, which might hurt, but we'll see how it goes. With the Selenis on, hopefully the yellow turns won't, yeah, they'll just be magic attacks that won't go off now, so that's good. Oh, that's new. Okay. Less dangerous than Judgment, though. All right. That does make a certain amount of canonical sense because we've damaged the boss enough that it's started losing some of its attacks, so. We'll take the next one head on, though, because I'm not guarding before this Moonstone Cannon is shot. Unless my previous guard stays. But generally in this game, a guard only lasts the turn you use it, so I don't think so. Alright, good stuff. One more moon cannon shot should do it. But it's possible this will do 12,000 damage now instead of 6,000. So might want to consider another complete kit on the next turn, maybe. I feel like we're still fine. Nice. Just losing more and more. Closing again. More Moonstone Cannon shots. Immediately go ahead and let's not even waste time. That'll probably do it too. But just in case it doesn't, we'll guard on the last turn. We don't need a silence. I can complete kit here. And we can just moon gun through the whole turn. And we'll still have enough spirit points next turn if we need to Moonstone Cannon one last time. I don't think we will. But we'll have it. We definitely won't. But if we did, we would have enough to work with. There we go. Very nice. Phase 2 complete. Phase 3 left to go. Nice level up for everybody. Why did I get a Captain Stripe? The Captain Stripe increases the level of your ship, which increases its HP. We're not going to do another ship battle. The game's literally going to end after the next fight. That sure looks like orange rinds just falling off the orange. Zelos, it's yes, it's finally over. Or not. What the? Dang, that just ruined the deck. Oh. It's not over yet. Now you shall feel the wrath of Zelos. You shall suffer for all eternity. Zelos will feast on your souls. You are being overly dramatic. Alright. Let me wait for the fight to start, and then I will save in the slot again. Alright, there we go. Let's see. Save to slot 2. Alright. Let's see. It's gonna be the usual stuff here, so let's not have him on yellow. Let's go back to purple for now. First thing I want to do actually is I have 3 Aura Valors. I wish I had a lot more. I should have bought a bunch of those at the start of the before I came in here. Everything else is the usual. We don't need to have her focus if we're about to use an Aura Valor though, so I do need to be prepared to Lunar Cleanse with her. I don't have to do that now, but I need to be ready to do that. Just reading the guide, seeing what I should do here. It's probably going to be roughly the same tactics as the phase 1 fight. Actually, the guide is recommending those same tactics except Fina should guard at all times, which does mean the Pirate's Wrath is going to be slower to happen. Better safe than sorry, though. Now is the time to use the super great items that you've been holding on to all game long. Alright, we can't skip this one. But 3 Aura Valors means that I can just use this 3 times in a row, essentially. And see how much damage it does. Hopefully a lot. Because the more damage this does, the less Pirate's Wrath I'll need to do, obviously, which will take longer to get out. Okay. We'll probably get him down to like half health from this, which is not bad, but... right, she needs to guard. Good. Keep using the magic attacks that don't do anything. I love that. Alright, this again. Actually, now might be a good time to order dinner while I'm sitting here watching unskippable cutscenes. Oh, it took it out of half. Okay. A third one will get us in a good spot then. Excellent. Let's go ahead and do that. Same as before. Oh, nice doing something else. This is why Fina guards every turn, because it's possible this attack can just insta-kill her just from the amount of damage. Wow. That was... I don't like that facial expression. Oof. Dang. But her natural defense plus Enrique's Justice Shield made for not a horrible result, at least. All right, my dinner order is in. All right, we got it below half health, so the music changed. Oh, we got an ad starting in a few minutes, actually. Let's see. I don't have any more Oro Valors, though, so now I have to do things the long way. She can still... Her health is pretty low, though. So I think I will have Vice actually Sacrum Crystal her. Or... No, Sacrolin Crystal... Yeah. And she will continue to guard. Those of you who don't have Turbo, see you in a few minutes. We won't beat him in that amount of time, so I'm going to continue some of the relevant stuff here. Oh. Ouch. Oof. Shield, guard. There we go. Should get everybody back up to a good starting point, I think. Especially now that I know he does that first. Yeah, there we go. Good stuff. jeez. I didn't realize I was attacking her. That might be very bad. Well, she's still guarded, so theoretically she'll be okay. Okay, yeah, she's good. Mostly because she guarded. Let's heal that. Welcome back from break. I'm about to heal Fina, but what you all missed was an attack I forgot the boss does, where at the very beginning of the turn, he takes control of another party member. He took control of Fina, and things went bad for a second, but I was able to recover. Okay, now he's just gonna do a bunch of single target damage to Enrique. That's not bad. Enrique can probably live without heals for a bit. It won't do that much damage to him, I don't think, so on this next turn I can finally start Pirate's Wrathing. Okay, yeah, it was bad. We will need to heal him, but that wasn't bad. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's get some damage in. They still need a shield, you still need a guard, you still need a shield, and we'll heal you next turn. I feel like one more Pirate's Wrath will do it, actually. It's gonna take a couple turns to happen, though. So we need to build back up. Wait, no we don't. We have enough right now. Let me save my slot just in case this goes horribly. Save the slot 3. All right. Let's just try straight up. Because if this works, I don't have to bother healing Enrique. Hey yo! There we go. Good stuff. Straight to cutscenes because it's the end of the game. No, this can't be happening. Oh, the whole team is there. Wow, he just disintegrated. Jeez. I'd say poor guy, but he did some horrible things this whole game. It's finally over. Fina, Ramirez lived in the skies and died in the skies. We sailors, when one of us dies, it's customary to return the body to the sky. Would you mind if we did the same for Ramirez? Why are you showing him any kind of... He doesn't deserve this. No, please go ahead. Well, this is more for Fina's sake because they grew up together. They were like brother and sister. They weren't technically they were brother and sister from a certain POV. Anyway, they grew up together, and she was really fond of the version of him before he came to the planet and just went totally insane and joined a dictator and tried to kill everybody. So yeah, I feel like this is actually more for her benefit than it is for his. Oh yeah, no worries. Ramirez, may you rest in peace. Final Fantasy XIV memories has me worried about that. This is like them tossing Nidhogg's eyes into the chasm below Ishgard, and those eyes just got fished up back again later. But with Zelos dead and no Silver Moon Crystal to control anything here, there's nothing keeping the Island of Soltis up again, so down it goes. Accurate. I wonder if that vortex is just going to be there forever. Voltus, it's gone. Goodbye, Ramirez. Well, what's next? We've already sailed around the world. There's no use for the moon crystals anymore. What are you talking about? Since when do we need a reason to sail? We're still young. Who knows what kind of trouble we can still get into? So, Captain Vice, where do we go from here? Vice, Aika, I have something to ask of you. I would be honored if you would let me continue to sail with you. Wouldn't have it any other way. Of course you can sail with us. Thank you. Oh well, it's also touching. Why don't you all come with us? That doesn't sound like such a bad idea, but I should probably return to my ship. My men must be going crazy without me. I'll return to the Claudia and continue my search for the good life. I've decided that I want to be a fisherman again. I want to live the rest of my life in peace, out of respect for Jack, and for Rackham. Well, Enrique, how about you? I must return to Valua. Someone needs to organize the survivors and start rebuilding. I understand. Good luck, everyone. Hey, what about us? Oh, literally the rest of the Armada who came to help us. Yes, what about us? Aren't we your friends too? Why should they get all the attention? Clara, please, we just saved the world together. Can't you just enjoy the moment? Son, I'd be honored if you called me Dad from now. Oh wow, that's a switch. He was always captain, but then again, Vice is captain of his own ship now, so that wouldn't work. Hey, when can we get something to eat around here? You literally own your own restaurant. Can't you resolve that problem yourself? Aye, the big guy has a point. I think this calls for a party. I never thought I'd agree with Baltimore. Everyone back to Crescent Isle for the biggest feast in history. They deserve it. They did just save the world. I'm gonna be pressing A lot, but I don't actually need to hold the controller in my hands for now. Let me put it aside and rest my hands for a bit. I can't remember. I don't know that we see the feast. I think credits are at the end. I think we do get cutscenes before, or is it after? I guess we'll see. All right. Enrique and Moegi getting married. With Daigo's blessing. I think what I'm thinking of happens during the credits sequence. Nazrat is fully rebuilt. I wonder who is the new Sultan, since the previous Sultan literally got deleted. You can clearly see the borders of the world are still there, but they have collapsed in a sense that there's a lot more trade. There's a lot more people just happily chatting with each other and visiting each other now. Valuan's slowly rebuilding. Rest in peace, Beliza. I do actually miss her. She's like the only person on that side. Well, no, Gregorio too. There are a few people on that side that died that I miss. Oh, that's right. Fina with the air pirate outfit now. One thing I wish they had added to the game, to this GameCube port, that they did not, I wish they had added the ability to play the game with Fina's alternate outfit from this ending cutscene. That would have been a nice addition to this port, but... Oh, right, they rebuilt an original style ship. They're not using the Delphinus. Because Vice and Ica were always at home in, like, a wooden flying ship. Rieko Kodama, producer, she was involved in a lot of the Phantasy Star games. Dine. He is retired as captain of the Blue Rogues, but his old crew refuses to call him anything other than captain. Although Vice has defeated Baltor over and over, he still has not given up on his oaths to someday defeat him. God damn it, Baltor. Centime. Centime's 3 children all left home to fulfill their own destinies. He has since then adopted 4 more children. Gordo's Bistro has become world famous for its gourmet cuisine. Gordo has never fired a cannon since. Clara has set off once again in pursuit of the one she loves. Perhaps one day she will find true happiness. Good luck getting that asshole to settle down. Even though he has succeeded his father and become king of Yakutoma, Daigo still travels the sky in search of adventure. Reminds me a lot of Hien from 14. After Daigo became king, Zhao and Mao were appointed admirals of the Yafutoman Navy. I love this song. Lawrence disappeared after the battle was over. It is rumored that he's been seen in Valua and is looking for his next job. True mercenary. Yeah, Garrett, that's true. Being chosen as the admiral for the new Esperanza Navy, Don established a safe route through the Dark Rift. Brabham became the head of Valua's new shipbuilding facilities at Enrique's request. Brabham has never been happier. Hans now works side by side with Brabham and Valua. He would later establish a scholarship for needy students. Bell returned to the Primrose, confident with the knowledge that cannonballs come out of the cannons really fast. Having fallen in love with sailing, Kazim and his men decided to become air pirates too. Nice. They started out as just cannoneers. Tiga Tiga received a hero's welcome upon his return. He has since taken a beautiful wife and lives his days as a hunter. Domingo tried opening his own trade business, but it failed. He has since returned to treasure hunting. But I got all the treasures. There's nothing left. Osman opened a shop in the newly rebuilt Nazareth and has since regained all her wealth through trading with Yafutoma. Khalifa has given up fortune-telling in search of a more exciting line of work. She grew tired of knowing everything. Oh, hey, look, all the English voice actors that you didn't hear because I'm playing the redub. Ismail traveled to Valua to help with the rebuilding. He insisted they would never finish without his help. Of course. Oh, Charles Martinet and Gora? Kirella is currently building a harbor on the expanding Crescent Isle, where she has taken permanent residence. Nice. Polly returned to Sailor's Island to run the tavern alongside her daughter Anne. I'm sure Robinson went with them. Arala is currently living in Valua, supporting her beloved husband, Hans, who she met during her trial. I forgot she married Hans. Ryukan returned to his island to fire up his forge once more. His quest for the ultimate blade will perhaps never end. The Alchemist decided to return to Valua, where he opened a pharmacy to provide medicines for all the people of Valua. Marco returned home to Valua to help with the reconstruction. Later, he would become the first admiral of the new armada. That's great, actually. Robinson finally returned home for good. Now he has 10 children with Polly and is happily living with them. Holy shit, man. Was that necessary? Even after the battle was won, Pal never returned home to Pirate Isle. Pal continues to sail at his master's side. Oh. Marita began dancing in Nazar and soon became an international star. She now spends her days traveling the world. Moegi is working hard to rebuild an entire nation with her husband Enrique. She has become known as the Caring Empress. Much better than the previous Empress, who we fought like all game long. Pinta continues to search for rare treasures from all over the world. He plans to someday visit the moons. Soon after the battle, Drachma died a happy fisherman. Even now, the story of Drachma and Arachnum is told in ports everywhere. Rest in peace. Enrique is building the new Valuan Empire. Together with his wife Moegi, they rule with compassion. Again, so much better than his mother, the previous Empress. Sailing where Gilder's whims take him, he and the crew of the Claudia continue on their search for the good life. Yeah. A young boy had a dream, a young girl had passion, a mysterious stranger had a mission, and the world will forever know their story. Oh, but I didn't get the Vice of Legend title, so it just is Bounty King. Oh, that hurts. That's what I get for not opening up every chest in the game or fighting 30 non-story ship battles. Oh well. And oh wait. And as long as there are a thirst to discover the unknown, there will be new stories to tell and new adventures to be had. Man, such a great game. I love that ending too. All the brass, and it just goes back to like the calm instruments. That is so good. Yeah, that's right. All three of them actually. Isn't Fina also in Valkyria Chronicles? Not as a playable character like the two of them, but she shows up. I think she's like a medic in their squad or something like that. I should play Valkyria Chronicles one of these days. Man, good stuff. All right, well, that's it for that. Originally, I mentioned in the title of this stream that I might play Plalia after this. That was on the assumption that I wasn't going to spend the entire stream 2 hours past time finishing this game. So Pelea's not happening on stream. I am going to log into that later because I still got to do my dailies, but I'm not doing that here. I'm going to cut over to here for now. That's okay. Who has the time to finish games when we have backlogs of like 300 to 400 games or more? I know I own Valkyria Chronicles on Steam as we speak, but like who knows when I'll actually get a chance to play it. Anyways, this is inaccurate because this was this week's schedule, which was half wrong. But anyway, I think I'm going to be on one WGSO stream tomorrow. We changed our plans. We were going to do a Star Fox remake stream, but I think instead, well, definitely instead it's happening a tribute to Bobby Prince, who recently passed away. He was a foundational video game composer who did the soundtracks for things like the original Doom, Wolfenstein, the Commander Keen games. I think he did Quake's soundtrack too. So tomorrow's WMGSO stream at 6:30 p.m. on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/WMGSO, who I will shout out real quick. That is going to be a stream tomorrow where basically just going to play Bobby Prince games. And assuming I can actually get it working on my computer, I might join in on that and play some Commander Keen. I'm not sure yet if that will happen. So it's possible I will be there tomorrow. Regardless, this is actually completely inaccurate. So next week's schedule is similar to this. I won't have meetings on Monday and well, I will have a meeting on Tuesday, but I don't think I will have a meeting on Monday. So I'll be back to my usual Monday stream. So my schedule is normally Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Monday at 7:30, just like Thursday. Monday, I usually play Final Fantasy 16. So I'll be back Monday for that. The rest of this is accurate, except I'm obviously not going to be playing Skies of Arcadia Legends next Saturday. I got to figure out something else. So look forward to that. But in general, this is still relatively accurate, except I am going to be here Monday night. So there you go. That's the schedule for next week. For now, thank you for tuning in. I had a lot of fun. I'm so glad I finally managed to beat this game again. This is like my 6th time beating this game. Classic RPG that I love tremendously, so I was really happy to play through it in full. Let me go see who we can raid over to. I'm going to throw my raid commands in really quickly while I look. Feel free to copy either one of those. The first one is if you are following or hanging out. The second one is if you are subbed. Let me go see who's streaming, who we can bump it over to. A lot of the usual suspects that I like to raid tend to not stream at this time of the weekend, which makes things not easy as far as finding someone to go to. I do have one person in mind. Oh, Everything Horrible streaming. Let's go raid Dustin. I haven't gotten a chance to raid him very often. we're gonna go over to everything horrible. Dustin is currently playing Subliminal. He likes playing horror games, watching horror movies. So if you're not into horror, it's understandable if you don't want to go over here. I haven't had the chance to hang out with him much, but he is the husband of Nalani Proctor, who is a very good friend of mine. I hung out with her pretty much every VGM con. I try and take the chance to hang out with her. Doesn't always work out because we're both pretty busy. She is a very, very good musician who usually is involved with multiple sets. I'm usually streaming multiple sets, or recording them at least. So we tend to both be busy doing different things at VGM Con, and we only ever get to hang out for like a little bit at a time, maybe dinner one night. But nonetheless, she's fantastic, and she's married to Dustin, who we're about to raid. So I know he's fantastic by association, even though I haven't hung out with him much. I really want to hang out with him more though. Hopefully next VGM Con I can like get dinner or something with the both of them. Anyway, let's go raid him. Let's see, raid. Let me make sure I spell this right. Everything. Or no, there's no A. There we go. That is correct. Yep. Okay. Let's head over to his channel. Thank you everybody for popping in. I had a great time. Hopefully I will see you. Feel free to tune in to the WGSO stream tomorrow, but hopefully I see you all Monday for my 7:30 p.m. Eastern Final Fantasy 16 stream. And regardless of whether I see you or not, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Take care, everybody.